Good morning. In this short video, I am going to concentrate on one term, semi-essential. Whether it is semi-essential, amino acid, and some students, they talk about semi-essential fatty acid. So this I found is most confusing. So I thought that I would just prepare a explanatory video on that. सेमी एसेंशियल सबसे पहले all students were able to answer what is essential and what is non-essential. Essential, which cannot be synthesized in our body, so dietary intake is essential. Non-essential, which can be synthesized in our body in adequate amount, so therefore they are not required in the diet. The body can synthesize. Then what are semi-essential? अब जैसे for example, in with reference to fatty acids, the student said that the linoleic acid and the linolenic acids are essential, but not in case of the C20 arachidonic acid, because the answer was that it can be synthesized from C18 linoleic acid by a series of steps. So since it can be synthesized in our body, then it is semi-essential. But now just pause here. Tyrosine. It can be synthesized from an amino acid called phenylalanine by phenyl hydroxylase reaction. If we go by this logic and call C20 arachidonic acid as semi-essential, by this logic, even tyrosine should also be semi-essential, but it is not. So they're saying something inherently wrong with that concept. Second, most students, a number of them, they talk that the semi-essential are I have taken down also, they are not required by adults, but they are required by children. And in the growing age, they are required, but they are not required in adults. Now, just let us give a lie to this argument. Histidine and arginine. These two are semi-essential amino acid. So does it mean that these two amino acids are not required in adulthood? For example, in me or most of you, histidine, is it or is it not required? Let us examine by logic. Histidine is an important amino acid present in hemoglobin, and that accounts for buffering property of hemoglobin, because as you remember, I'm sure, histidine is the only amino acid which can act as a buffer in our body at physiological pH. Now coming to RBCs. After all, RBCs हैं क्या? I would call them, they are bags full of hemoglobin. They do not have any nucleus. They do not have any mitochondria. They are filled with hemoglobin. And you also know rapid rate of erythropoiesis is taking place every day, because lifespan of an RBC is only 120 days. तो रोज आपका 1/120 total population of RBC is destroyed and replaced by new. तो उसके लिए such a huge quantity of RBCs synthesized. So it is clear that huge quantity of hemoglobin also must be synthesized. So a huge quantity of histidine also would be required. So that by logic, that statement gets exploded that it is not required by adults. Second, arginine, ये भी एक semi essential amino acid है. Is it also not required by adults? Let us see, with the help of logically speaking, let us talk about this also. Arginine, this is present in a protein called histone. और हिस्टोन कहाँ पर होते हैं? DNA wraps around histone. ये जैसे histones है, histone के around DNA wraps around it. There are various levels of condensation we are not going to discuss. But histones are important proteins present in our DNA. And the histones, as we said, they are rich in arginine. Now, cell cycle ko, we take our attention to cell cycle. Cell cycle completes in 24 hours approximately. And during S phase of the cell cycle, DNA replication occur. Replication does not mean only duplication of DNA. Histone proteins are also have to be newly synthesized so that DNA can wrap around them. So huge quantity of DNA synthesized per day, correspondingly large quantity of histone protein synthesized per day, and that also means huge quantity of arginine must be, synthesized per day. So does that mean that our body does not require arginine? No. In fact, conversely speaking, I would say that like histidine, huge quantity of arginine are also required per day. So this definition, not required by adults in diet, but required by children, this concept on the basis of these logic, we can say that this stands exposed and exploded. Now, one more point here. What are then semi-essential amino acids? Semi-essential amino acids, they are required by all. But in childhood, pregnancy, puberty, growing age, their requirement increases. So they are synthesized in our body in adequate amount in adults. But in this growing age, etc., their requirement increases. So the body synthesis may not be able to keep pace with the enhanced requirement. So therefore, they have to be taken in diet. So they must be taken in diet during these growing phases and pregnancy, puberty, etc., but not by adults. For example, a person of my age group or most of you, you can synthesize the required histidine and arginine required semi-essential amino acids per day. You can synthesize it. And towards conclusion, let me say in pregnancy, folic acid and B12, they also doctors prescribe. Find out the reason, the same reason what we have talked about, these amino acids. Thank you so much.